Hi everybody and welcome to my Unruly Housewife channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make these adorable little cufflinks. It's a couple of weeks to Valentine's Day at the time of recording, so I've made mine in heart shapes, but all you need is some polymer clay, some of these little backs, and you can make them any shape you like. Just to put you in the picture, these little sets of backs cost me £6.24 for 10 pairs on Amazon, and I think in the USA they're $8.10, a very similar thing. So it's not at all expensive. Polymer clay is lots of fun, and I'm going to show you some of the different patterns and how to put them together. So let's crack on. Here are the sorts of cufflinks that I would advise you to pre-bake the fronts of. Ones where you want to look at the pattern before you start, and choose the exact position. Ones where you might want to put in a stamp and have it be nice and clear and not, have a chance of getting squashed. Something you can put your mica powder on and have a really good effect. Or stripes where you want to keep the edges very crisp and clear. If you just take you through them in a little bit more detail, the Makumigane ones, you're going to have to look at my videos. There's one where I do a voice, my son does a voiceover, and there's another one that just shows you Makumigane, and I would look at that because that's very pretty, but we're not going to go into that now. If you want to make stripes, then just stack a lot of equal or various, it depends on what you want, pieces, sheets of clay, and then you can cut it out and make a little cane like this one, and then you can slice it. When you put it through the pasta machine, if you want these edges to stay clear, don't do too many passes and make sure you put it in vertically. So you just want to pop that straight in and put it straight through. Or the ones where you have an imprinted shape, and I've got an imprinted shape here, you want to put the shape on before you cut the heart out. Now this isn't very well rolled out, but let's pretend it is. Here's my shape, and I made sure that it fitted inside my cutter. I put it on and I spritzed it first with a little bit of water. Now I'm going to put my heart over it. Forgive me if it's a bit dodgy. I put it on, cut it. Of course, if you had a tile and I wasn't working on paper, it would stick to the tile, wouldn't it? And there you have your little heart, and it's nice and well shaped. Pop a little bit of mica powder onto it just for fun. If you use mica powder, of course, you're going to have to varnish your cufflinks at the end. Some of these patterns you won't have to put any finish on at all if you don't want to. And there it is. I'm just doing it very quickly, and I can see you can make a nice pattern and get them both to match, and you can go around the edges too if you want to. Okay, so that's how you would do those, and you will pop those in the oven, bake them about the temperature it says on the packet, but just for say 15 minutes or so, just to harden them up, because you're going to do a full bake once you've got the backs on. There are a couple of ways of doing the backs of these, and I'm going to show you this example here where I've just stippled on the clay, and this example here where I've done it in a more kind of regulated fashion. If you want to just stipple on the clay, and I would do it like this. So I would cut out the heart, having learnt no lessons, still not on the tile, there it is. And this has gone through at number 1 before baking it, by the way, on the pasta machine, so quite thick. This has gone through at number 3, so it's quite a bit thinner. I will look at my backing, and I want to make sure that it's going in the direction I want. Now it seems to me that most cufflinks go like that, beg your pardon, go like that. So that if you look at this part is like that to the pattern. There are different ways of wearing cufflinks and different sorts of shirts, but most of them seem to be that way, so that your heart would be kind of upright were it to be in line with that. Now, the most important thing I think is to get both cufflinks the same, isn't it? I'm just going to cut out a little slot to go around this piece here. Fairly big to fit over. Let's try that. I don't want to make it too big, of course, because I'm trying to keep it as close as I can to the middle of the cufflink, just for neatness. You then have to put a slick of liquid clay onto the back of your cufflink. Hold it in place. That's just going to help everything hold together, because this is part baked, remember. And then you pop this through here. Sorry, let's not do this off camera. You pop this through here and you put the whole lot onto the back there. Once that's all in place, and you press it down nice and firmly, get it straight. Take a little ball tool of some kind. I don't want to make it too small, let's use that. And just from the centre, stipple around and get your middle in position. If you want to fill in the part there in the centre that's still silver, you can see that there, you can use some of the extra little bits of clay that you cut out and put them in the centre and stipple those down as well. And then you just go on. Now it's quite boring to do this. I'm going to do it as fast as I can here. It's not going to be the neatest because we haven't got time. Let's just do half of it and I'll show you what to do next. Once you've finished doing that, you can then trim around the edges with your blades, craft knife, whatever you want to use. Sometimes it's good to use a big blade to do that, even a dirty one like this one. You can go like that with your big blade. Actually is quite a good way of doing it. And just keep squaring these edges up. It's very forgiving when you stipple, because you know you can adjust anything really and just re-stipple it. You make the edge like that. Now I've messed that up a little bit on this bit, but of course you can always take it off and start again if you want to. So once I've got all the edges very straight and all of the back stippled, I can pop that into the oven, and when it comes out everything is going to be perfectly safe and in place. And I will have something like this again, which is completely finished and very tough and strong and keeps the back on. Now the other way of doing it, which I will show you with this one, is to cut this out again. Now this time I'm going to cut a hole for the back. The thing, and I found that this is the same size as that. Now you might say, well, how am I going to find something? Well, it didn't take me very long, I tell you. Just think of something small and round, have a look around your house, you'll find something. So this is my heart. I'm going to cut that out, and I'm going to use, let me remove this because it's annoying me, because I want to stick this down and have this bit removed. Now I'm going to look again, I'm going to look right for the middle if I can. Let's take some time to position it and cut that hole out. A little bit of liquid clay because it's raw. Smashing everything up there. And this time I'm going to pop this over the back and push that into position. Now it still may need a little bit of trimming, but you could probably get away with just sanding this because I'm not stippling it, it's not getting quite so pushed out of shape. There. Shove this in the middle. Remember, I'm doing it that way. Lengthways, and then with the spare bit that we cut out, I'm going to make a little snake, put it around the inside there. How long's it got to be? I'll trim it off. It's a little bit hard to trim when you do this, but we'll give it a go. And then just using ball tool, and I would use a bit of a fatter one than that, I think. I just press at regular intervals around here until it looks joined up. If I come at it from both sides. See, I did that a little bit short, but by the time I get to it, it's going to be fine. Just push that in there. It looks relatively neat, and you've pretty much finished that. Now it's still a little bit, just go around the edges and neaten and push it into place. And as I said, you'll be able to sand it after. Just make sure that it's all down nice and flat. I'm going to go on next and show you how to do it when they're both raw, because that is a lot easier. So let's put those aside and move on to the raw things. I will just mention here that the things we're putting into the oven to cook, even though the fronts were already part baked, are going to go into the oven for the full cooking time as described on the manufacturer's instructions, as they are on the packet. So we're going to cook them for the entire time duration that we would if they weren't cooked. And we're also I'm going to lay them on a piece of printer paper or cartridge paper on a ceramic tile. That's how I bake my things, and I put them in the oven like that. That will prevent any shininess from occurring on the front. So, and that will apply to everything that I bake in this video. Thank you. Okay, let's crack on with the final and most fun sort of cufflinks, the easiest ones, and they are the ones that we just don't have to do 2 bakes on. We can just put all together. They don't need any liquid clay, and the sides blend well, and yeah, these are the awesome ones that I like to make. So first of all, what I'm going to do is twist some colours together, because we're not having a complex front, we're not choosing a complex part of them, we're just jumping straight in. Here we go. I'll put these 3 together and give them a roll. When they're disappearing off screen, I'm just rolling them between my hands. I'm really going for it here because this is just a really fun way of doing it, and it's going to turn out to be the most simple. Beautiful colours that really go together well, I think. I love pink and purple and white. This may not be, if these are for the man in your life, it may not be his first choice, or maybe it is. Maybe he's going to say, thank goodness that the relentless brown and blue are over. So we're twisting these together and try not to break the ends off. I'm going to cut it in half. We want quite thin stripes. It's going to be a contrast to the other pair. And I just roll. Roll, roll. And this is making lovely striped and yet somehow random pattern that I'm going for. And I want these stripes to be quite thin. So I'm going to go for another divide, and this is going to be the last one though. Excuse me. More rolling, more twisting. Clay can be really fun like this, and you never know what you're going to get. And now I'm going to start to push in towards the middle to make these stripes even thinner and compact my clay. Because my cutter is quite small, the shape is quite small, I do want my stripes to be thin. So let's flatten this out now. Let's get my rolling pin. Get the green clay off. Seriously, I'm such a scruff. Give this a bit of a roll. That looks nice. Now everything I'm doing with the raw clay technique I'm doing on number 2 with the pasta machine, because I'm going to cut all the shapes out of the same thickness of clay. This is like the really simple method. That looks great. I'm loving that. So I'm not going to cut my actual shapes out yet, but, and watch this, I am going to cut the holes out. I mustn't do them too close together. Let me see. I will lay them, that looks so cute, on top of here. And now I will cut my shapes out, which means that I will have both of my hearts completely finished, in terms of, you know, not having to join the front to the back and all that nonsense that I had to do the baked ones. So let's cut those out. See how this looks. Okay, so they look great on the other side. I'm loving that. I'm loving the randomness. You can, of course, turn it over and have a quick look if you really want to, but I'm loving that the way it is. And we will soften up these corners a little with sanding, or perhaps before I put them in the oven I'll do a little baby wipe around them, but that's absolutely fine. So easy peasy lemon squeezy. Gosh, they're nearly finished already. Roll these out for our little snakes. Let's just do one actually. Probably do both, won't it? And I've got two middles, or backs, or whatever. I think I've called these about 10 different things during this video, but you know what I mean. And remember, we're putting them so they go that way. We'll make sure they're both the same. So we've got our two little snaky bits of clay, which we'll put around there. And you already know how I join this up, so I'll probably edit this bit out. So see you in a mo. And there you are. So edit over, look, they're both done, and it was really easy, and they look really cute. This one is a little bit fuzzy because I had to wipe it with a baby wipe, so I lent it on something, but both of them are ready to go into the oven on the paper, on the tile, baked according to manufacturer's instructions, and then they will be sanded and buffed up with a cloth. And that was, I think you'll agree, very, very easy. Yeah, there it is. Nice, easy little gifts for your loved one, and I hope you enjoyed that. Do like and subscribe, leave any comments and questions down below, and if you want to follow me on Facebook, I'm on Facebook, Unruly Housewife, and I'm also on Instagram, Unruly Housewife. I love you all. Bye!